Well, hi there.
Hi.
So we're going to do an exercise called boundaries, and it's part of the mind-body counseling stuff that I do. And boundaries are really what we kind of start with when we do the mind-body work. And the reason for that, especially in a first session, is so that between counselor and client, that there's sort of like some safety and some trust first established. But it's also a really good way for people to get in their bodies. And you'll see what I mean when we start to do the exercise. Okay? So I'm going to get you to select a piece of yarn. And just to create like a personal space for yourself. So something that sort of represents how much space you feel you need right now. You can take up as much as you need. So I'm just going to suggest taking a few breaths and just having a look at the space that you just put down. Yeah, just make any adjustments that you feel you need to make. Okay, so just take a few breaths, maybe close your eyes and just get a sense of what's happening inside. Just see if you can get a feeling of the space that you just put down. So is there somewhere inside that lets you know, yeah, that feels right?
Yeah, it feels comfortable.
And is there somewhere in your body that you can kind of pinpoint where it says, yeah, that feels really good. That's right for me?
In the chest, maybe.
Right about here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to put a boundary down myself and just notice if anything changes for you when I have a space as well. So.
Mine feels really small.
Feels really small? Did something happen there when you noticed that yours was really small?
Yeah, a little bit. It just like feels tighter.
You feel kind of tight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's really not.
Yeah, I can see a big difference. Like you kind of really small there as soon as I was done. But now you seem a lot more open.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you notice that there's something different in your chest there?
Yeah, it doesn't feel as tight.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And just to let you know sort of how this makes me feel, this feels right for me. And the way I know that in my body is that I feel the weight of myself on my cushion. And then my eyes kind of take in more of what's around me, kind of things get brighter. That's kind of how I know that I have a boundary and that it's the right one for me. So we're going to play around with our boundaries just a little bit, just to see what happens. But I'll always bring you back to where you feel safe.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to suggest making your boundary even bigger than that. So just take a few breaths and notice what you're feeling with all that much more space there.
Yeah, it just feels a lot bigger.
Yeah? Where do you feel that feeling of it feels bigger?
Probably in the same spot.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it feel like it's even less tight for you?
Yeah, like it feels too big.
Okay. So there's like a little bit of nervousness
Yeah.
with that being bigger. Okay. So I'm just going to suggest taking a few breaths into that anxiety or that tightness that you're just feeling with a bit more space, and let yourself just take some breaths. You might even want to put your hand here where you feel that tightness, and just let yourself take some breaths there. Feels a little bit not so anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can tell it's not the right space for you anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just suggest bringing it in again where you feel you want it to be. And just notice what happens to your chest when you do that.
Feels a lot better now. It feels more comfortable.
So how is it different than when you had it bigger?
I don't know, I feel like more not as anxious with this big.
Yeah, I can really see your body's just taking a more relaxed pose, like you're just like, ah. Before you're just kind of like, I don't know what to do with this. Yeah. So I'm going to change my boundary. And again, just notice if anything changes for you. This is kind of your barometer, so kind of pay attention to your chest there. So I'm going to make mine a lot smaller. And just notice how that feels. I can tell something's changed.
Yeah, it looks really small for you.
Yeah, and how does that make you feel?
Not really feeling like anything specific, just I think it was better the other way.
You seem almost like kind of worried for me.
A little bit.
Yeah, because I kind of see your energy kind of going like this. Like, I don't like, I in a way, just to kind of protect me in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not right for me, and I feel it in my body, so I'm really tight in my chest right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the right space for me, and I feel some tightness in my throat too, actually. So yeah. So I'm going to create a bigger space, but even bigger than the way I had it. And again, just curious to find out what reaction happens for you when I do that. Does it seem any different?
Yeah, it seems too big. So
And what are you feeling in your body when you notice that?
I don't know, I feel like a little anxious when it's bigger.
Yeah.
It's too close to my boundary.
Okay, so there's a sense of, oh no, she's coming into my space now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And is that tightness here again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel it anywhere else?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, for me, this space is too much. I mean, I took a big breath. I don't know if you noticed that when I took the space, so my chest opened up. But what happens for me is that it just makes me feel a little spaced out, like I can't really find myself. I think it's similar to what you felt when you had yours really big. So, yeah, that's kind of feels. So I'm going to bring it back to where I have it most comfortable. And again, just notice what happens to you when I do that.
It feels a lot better now.
Yeah.
The way it is. Like, it feels comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And where do you feel that comfortable feeling?
I just don't feel any anxiety about it at all. It just feels nice.
Yeah.
More relaxed.
Well, I noticed too that you kind of play with your hands a little bit when you're uncomfortable, and that's okay. I mean, it's just, this is what I do. I notice things. But yeah, like I can see that you're just a little bit less tense, less agitated by that. Yeah. And for me, yeah, I took a big breath, and that feels right for me, and I feel a lot more grounded, which means that I don't feel so spaced out anymore. So that's boundaries. We use them in mind-body counseling because, as you can see, it brings stuff up, right? That generally we don't necessarily think about. It just happens. And our bodies have a lot to say beyond what we have to say, maybe, verbally. Yeah, so that's boundaries.